The gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, this is the final amendment to the bill. It will not kill the bill or send it back to committee. If adopted, the bill will immediately proceed to final passage as amended. Mr. Speaker, we're in the midst of the worst drought we've ever experienced in California, in my home state, and across the western United States. This is the 4th year of unprecedented drought conditions. 2/3 of California is an extreme or exceptional drought. Almost twice the area this time last year is experiencing an exceptional drought. This is critical. When I go back to my district and talk to farmers, small business owners, individuals, they're worried. They're worried about what this summer is going to bring. We're about to enter the driest part of the year. I've got a picture here. This is the Sierra Nevadas, one of the most beautiful regions in our country. When my wife and I first moved to Northern California, we'd scrimp and save so we could go on vacation and go skiing up here. Beautiful snow. In fact, the 1960 Winter Olympics were held up here. But it's not a recreational area. What the Sierra Nevadas mean to California, this is our biggest reservoir of water. The snow falls in the winter, it slowly melts off, and it allows...
The gentleman will suspend. Gentleman may proceed.
The snow falls, and in the springtime, you get this melt-off. It fills our reservoirs. It nourishes our farmers. It allows the fishermen to go fish the salmon in the Sacramento River. This is what a normal snowfall would look like. But let's fast forward to where we are today. There's no snow. The snowpack just last month was 5% of normal, the worst conditions that we've ever seen. This is dramatic. What that means is our reservoirs are going to be empty. That means the farmers in Central California are going to struggle to feed their crops. California farms are the breadbasket, not just of our nation, but of the world. Some of the most productive farms, incredibly important to our economy. But the water's not there. Now, what we're asking for is not a lot. We face critical times here. These aren't Republican or Democratic issues because a farmer or a consumer doesn't look at drinking water or the water to nourish their crops as Democrats or Republicans. They're looking at their business, their livelihoods, their very existence. We're just asking for a small amount of emergency drought relief. Now, in my own district, a large part of my population depends on drinking water from Folsom Lake. Do you want to see what Folsom Lake looked like 1 year ago? Dry to the bone. This should all be underwater. We're not going to fill this reservoir because it depends on the snow melts. Now, these families are going to struggle. We're doing what we can to save water. We're doing what we can as consumers to better conserve. I know the farmers are stepping up to do what they can. We're not asking for a lot, though, here. We've got to, my colleagues will talk about increasing storage capacity. Great, let's do that. But that's not going to relieve the impact of this summer. It is going to be devastating, and it's not just my state. It's affecting Nevada. It's affecting Oregon. It's affecting Washington State. And the funding that we're asking for is not just for California. All 50 states could ask for emergency drought relief to help families, to help businesses. We've got to address this. Now, the climate is changing. We've noticed now for 4 years we haven't had that snow. More of it's coming down as rain. So we've got to capture that rain. We certainly have to store it, and we've got to move that water where we grow our foods. But for this summer, in these emergency conditions, our families need relief. Now, I'm not asking for us to change the bill. I'm asking for a bit of relief for families that are struggling. And in fact, this will help them. It'll help them get through it. It'll help any of the 50 states plan for emergency conditions like this. In addition, we're asking for a brief bit of funding to help us beef up our cybersecurity for our electrical grid. You know, we are vulnerable here. Can you imagine what would happen if those that want to harm us attacked our electrical grid? So we're not asking for a lot. We're not asking for anything that is unreasonable here. We're Americans. Let's help each other. Let's do what's right. Let's amend the bill, and then let's pass it, and let's provide relief for these families. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.